And hi everyone, my name is Stormi the Folf, and today I want to talk about how to properly speak in Fursuit. I feel like this topic isn't brought up enough, especially for those brand new to fursuiting. Speaking well in Fursuit is not as simple as using your normal, everyday voice. No, you gotta shout like you want a free pizza or something. Woo! But in all seriousness, once you put a fursuit head on, you're up against totally different audio acoustics, audio resistant so to speak. Foam, the most common material used for building head bases, also serves as an excellent cutoff filter for higher audio frequencies. It can really work against certain types of phonetics. It's going to make you sound really muffled to some degree. Think of how the letters S, T, Z, and F sound. Anything that involves emphasis on these alphabetic characters will be attenuated or completely muted depending on the fursuit head's construction. If you're confused, think of it like listening to one of your favorite songs with the treble turned all the way down. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow. Can't stick around, have to keep moving on. Guess what lies ahead, only one way to find out. You could still hear them singing, but if you've never listened to this song before, or you don't have any lyrics up, you might struggle to understand what they're trying to say. Sounds like they've got a sock in their mouth, eh? Get on with it, Stormi. Now, it's not just foam bases that can cause this. Resin heads can exhibit similar symptoms as well. So, how can we work around this? Several ways, actually. If you're brand new to suiting, be prepared to speak a lot louder than you normally would. The fursuit head is going to do a great job of blocking your voice, and in order to overcome this attenuance, you'll need to use your outdoor voice, as opposed to speaking at a normal, indoorsy volume. Basically, talk louder! Speak up! This may take some practice at first, especially if you're a quiet person like me, but don't worry, you'll get it. Just don't wake up the neighbors or something. Now, if you're not fond of shouting, or perhaps you may have a condition that prevents you from speaking loudly, don't worry, we're not done yet. This next trick will vary depending on the construction of your suit head, but depending on how close the muzzle is, you can try something like this. Very lightly stretch open the mouth of your muzzle. Like, this is not a good example. Take out time to break the magic. Very lightly stretch open the mouth of your muzzle like so. Now, I have a moving jaw, so this isn't a great example, but if I wear my old fursuit head, I can simply do this. Nyah, nyah, nyah. This is usually safe to do so on most foam bases, but consult your maker first before attempting to do so. I am not responsible for any damage that may occur as a result. If the mouth won't open any further, don't force it open, or you could destroy the head. So yeah, please be careful while doing this, and if you are not sure if you can open the mouth on your foam base, consult your maker first. And if it's a resin head, don't try it at all unless it has an actual moving jaw mechanism. With Stormi version 1, this helped tremendously because my suit's muzzle has a very narrow opening. Closed muzzles allow for less sound to pass through, therefore you'll be quieter and sound more muffled. Simple explanation. If you're not comfortable with this idea, or you can't do it, you could try something like a voice amplifier. I'm really surprised more suiters don't do this. Heck, Beauty of the Bases suits literally have amplifiers and speakers built into them. Now, this isn't the cheapest solution available, but if you've got extra empty space inside your suit head, like say for a fan or whatever, it'll do the job. Just don't be obnoxious and annoying at cons. Keep the volume at a reasonable level. You don't need people hearing you from miles away, unlike those who crank up their Bluetooth speakers in the registration line. Yeah, you heard me. Now, if you can't do any of this, you don't have to necessarily use your voice to communicate while in suit. We are cute, fluffy beings after all, who can articulate. Susho, a deaf fursuiter, is an excellent example of how you can still get your point across without having to verbally speak. He uses sign language to communicate. The downsides to this, however, is that some signs do require the use of facial expressions and 5 fingers. And you can see I have a 4-fingered paw and my human face is concealed, so yeah. But there's still plenty of things you could say with your hands or paws, hand paws. Yeah, hand paws. With sign language, you can ask for hugs, to record video, taking pictures, asking for boobs, calling someone cute, and warning others that they may need to go to the headless lounge, and much, much more. Yes, there are limiting factors since our human face is covered, but you could still get your point across in many cases. If you haven't seen this video of Susho, I strongly encourage you to check it out. I think everyone should learn a little sign language, to be honest. Given how crowded and noisy conventions can be, this could be a great alternative as opposed to shouting and hoping your handler understood you amongst the crowd at MFF, which is like the most popular furry convention. It's really crowded. Now, if you're an aspiring furry YouTuber or you make TikToks or whatever, this next trick might help you out as well. Like I said before, fursuit heads have a tendency to muffle and or attenuate higher frequencies. Muffling our S's and T's and so on. And because most microphones lack the fidelity of the average human ear, you'll sound even more muffled on video than in person. Or is it fursin because you're in fursuit and you're with other But you can work around it by boosting higher frequencies via an audio equalizer. Many video editors already have a built-in EQ system where you can boost or lower certain frequencies to your desire. In Vegas Pro, I can use either what's called a graphic EQ or a track EQ system. Think of it like being able to turn up and down the treble, except you can pick whatever frequency you want. You will have to experiment and play around with it, however, because there's no one-size-fits-all system here. Each fursuit head is built differently. You'll have to fine-tune things, but don't worry. Sooner or later, you'll figure it out. For my setup, I have to gradually boost all frequencies beyond 3.6 kHz, because without it, I sound like this.
Hey guys, my name is Stormi, and since this is my first video where I'm actually speaking on camera, you can expect a lot of stuttering, a lot of things that don't make sense, and about over 9,000 different jump cuts. I guess we'll begin on how I got into the fandom.
And that's no good. Each fursuit head is built differently and as such will possess different audio acoustics. Suit heads with more narrow, closed muzzles will likely require significant boosting, whereas suits with an open muzzle, maybe not so much. You can get further improvements, however, by using what's known as a shotgun microphone. These are directional microphones, and if you aim it at just the right angle, you'll get superb sound quality. You might also try what's known as a lavalier mic, but I've had a ton of hit and miss luck with them. Like, the last one I used, it was constantly rustled and distorted and sounded like farts. It was not good. Maybe someday I'll talk more about behind the scenes with my videos. Behind the storm, I suppose. And if you don't want to talk in fursuit, that's totally valid. But you know what's not valid? Scolding others for speaking in suit just because they don't fit your fursuit fantasy. This ain't Disney. We're gonna talk and we're gonna do whatever we want. But that about wraps up this week's video. I really hope some of y'all found it helpful, or at least informative or amusing. Or if you just plain old enjoyed it, definitely give it a like. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't. Ring that bell. And share with all your other furry friendos. Anyways, please stay safe. And I'll see yous all next time. Bye bye! I am so anemic and exhausted and out of shape. This is what dental surgery does to you. I'll get better.